The late afternoon sun cast a golden glow across the parking lot of Anderson's Auto Repair, painting everything in shades of amber and honey. Daniel Martinez wiped his hands on his work rag, the familiar scent of motor oil and rubber a comfort after 20 years in the trade. At 43, with flecks of gray threading through his dark hair and laugh lines etched around his eyes, he'd learned that life rarely went according to plan. But he'd also learned that showing up day after day with an honest heart was enough. He was just about to lock up when he heard it, a sound that made his chest tighten the way it always did when his own daughter was upset. Soft crying, muffled but unmistakable. There, sitting on the curb beside a silver sedan with a flat tire, was a young woman. Couldn't have been more than 19 or 20. Her shoulders shook as she clutched her phone, mascara-streaked tears running down her cheeks. Her blonde hair caught the fading light, and everything about her posture spoke of someone who'd reached the end of their rope. Daniel didn't hesitate. He'd raised Emma alone since she was 3, and some instincts ran deep. He approached slowly, keeping his voice gentle. "Miss, you all right there?" The young woman looked up, startled. Her blue eyes were red-rimmed and frightened. I have a flat tire, and my phone's almost dead, and I don't know what to do." Her voice cracked on the last word, and fresh tears spilled over. Daniel knelt down to her level, not too close, giving her space. "Hey now, it's okay. A flat tire is something I can fix. That's what I do. I'm Daniel. I own this shop. I'm Sarah," she managed between sniffles. "I was supposed to be at my mom's an hour ago. She's going to be so worried. And I already used all my battery calling AAA, but they said it would be 3 hours. 3 hours is a long time to wait," Daniel said, standing up and examining the tire. "Tell you what, Sarah, I can have this changed in 15 minutes. You want to come inside? There's a phone charger in the office, and I think there's still some coffee left from this afternoon." Sarah looked at him with such grateful disbelief that it reminded Daniel of Emma at 16, when she'd forgotten her lunch money and he'd driven it to school. That same mixture of relief and embarrassment that comes from needing help. Inside the small office, Daniel plugged in her phone and set to work. The familiar rhythm of loosening lug nuts, positioning the jack, the satisfying mechanical predictability of it all. Through the open bay door, he could hear Sarah on the phone, her voice still shaky. "Mom? Mom, I'm okay. I'm at a repair shop. A really nice man is helping me." A pause. "No, I'm fine. Today was really hard, and then the tire, and I don't think I can do this anymore." Daniel tried not to listen, but the office was small, and heartbreak has a way of filling up space. He worked steadily, tightening the new tire, checking the pressure. When he came back inside, wiping his hands, Sarah was sitting in one of the worn plastic chairs, phone in her lap, looking small and defeated. "All done," he said gently. "Good as new. How much do I owe you?" Sarah asked, reaching for her purse with trembling hands. Daniel waved her off. "It's after hours anyway. I was just finishing up. Consider it a kindness for a hard day. I can't. That's not—" "Sarah," Daniel said, settling into the chair beside her, "let me tell you something. When my daughter Emma was little, her mom left. Just walked away one day. And I was terrified. Didn't know if I could do it. But you know what I learned? People helped. The neighbor who watched Emma when I had to work late. The teacher who gave her extra attention when she was struggling. The lady at the grocery store who let me pay next week when I came up short." He smiled softly. "We get through this life by helping each other. That's all it is." Sarah's eyes filled with fresh tears, but these were different. Softer. "I dropped out of college today," she whispered. "Everyone expected me to become a lawyer like my mom, but I hate it. I hate every minute of it. And I feel like such a failure." Daniel nodded slowly, recognition flickering in his eyes. Emma wanted to be a veterinarian. Everyone said she was so smart, so capable. She got into a great school. He paused, a fond smile crossing his face. She dropped out after a year. Turns out she wanted to be a pastry chef. Now she's got her own little bakery across town, and she's happier than I've ever seen her. "Really?" Sarah's voice was small but hopeful. "Really. The thing is, Sarah, success isn't about following someone else's path. It's about being brave enough to find your own, even when it's scary, especially when it's scary. They sat in comfortable silence for a moment, the shop settling around them with its familiar creaks and sighs. Outside, the sun dipped lower, painting the sky in shades of rose and violet. "My mom's going to be so disappointed," Sarah said finally. "Maybe," Daniel admitted, "but mothers love their children. Sometimes they just need a minute to adjust their dreams to match yours. Give her time." Sarah stood, tucking her phone into her pocket. "Thank you, Daniel, for everything, not just the tire." He walked her out to her car, made sure everything was secure. As she drove away, waving from the window, Daniel felt that familiar warmth in his chest, the kind that came from knowing you'd made a difference, however small. He was closing up when his phone rang. Unknown number. He almost didn't answer. "Hello? Is this Daniel Martinez?" A woman's voice, cultured and refined, but with an edge of emotion he couldn't quite place. "Yes, ma'am. Who's calling?" "My name is Catherine Westbrook. I believe you just helped my daughter, Sarah." Daniel's breath caught. Westbrook, as in Westbrook Industries, as in one of the wealthiest families in the state. Yes. She had a flat tire. It was no trouble. "Mr. Martinez," Catherine's voice softened, "Sarah just told me what you said to her. About your daughter, about finding your own path." There was a pause, and when she spoke again, her voice was thick with tears. "I've been so focused on what I thought was best for her that I stopped hearing what she actually needed. You helped her see that it was okay to be brave. And you helped me see that being a good parent means supporting their dreams, not directing them." Daniel didn't know what to say. He leaned against his workbench, phone pressed to his ear. "I know this is unusual," Catherine continued, "but I'd like to do something for you. Sarah tells me you have a daughter with a bakery?" "Emma, yes. She's doing real well. I'm opening a new corporate complex downtown. We need food service vendors. Would Emma be interested in submitting a proposal? I can't promise anything, but I can promise a fair shot." Daniel felt tears prick his own eyes now. "Mrs. Westbrook, that's incredibly generous." "No, Mr. Martinez. Generosity is what you showed my daughter today. This is just gratitude." 3 months later, Daniel stood in Emma's new satellite location in the lobby of Westbrook Tower. The space gleamed with stainless steel and warm lighting, the air rich with the scent of fresh bread and pastries. Emma was beaming, her cheeks flushed with pride as she arranged croissants in the display case. "Can you believe this, Dad?" she asked for the 10th time that morning. "Our own location in the Westbrook building?" Daniel pulled her into a hug. "I can believe it. You earned it with your talent, Em. Never doubt that." The door chimed, and Catherine Westbrook entered with Sarah at her side. Sarah looked different, lighter. Her blonde hair was pulled back and she wore paint-stained jeans and a smile that reached her eyes. "Daniel," Catherine said warmly, shaking his hand, "and you must be Emma. Your father talks about you constantly." Emma laughed. "Only good things, I hope." "Always," Daniel confirmed. Sarah stepped forward shyly. "I wanted you to know I enrolled in art school. I start next month." "That's wonderful, Sarah," Daniel said, meaning it with his whole heart. "Mom's been amazing about it," Sarah added, glancing at Catherine with such open affection that Daniel felt his throat tighten. Catherine placed an arm around her daughter's shoulders. "I'm learning that the best gift we can give our children is the freedom to become themselves, even when it scares us, especially when it scares us." They stayed for coffee and pastries, talking easily in the morning light streaming through the tall windows. Daniel looked around at these people, these unexpected connections born from one moment of simple kindness on a difficult day. "You know," he said quietly, "I've spent 20 years thinking I was just getting by, just doing what needed to be done. But maybe that's enough. Maybe showing up, being kind, doing right by people, maybe that's everything." Catherine raised her coffee cup in a gentle toast. "To the brave ones," she said softly. "The ones who help, the ones who listen, the ones who remind us what really matters." They clinked their cups together, the sound bright and clear as a bell. Outside, the city hummed with life. People rushing to appointments, chasing dreams, facing fears. And in that warm corner bakery, 4 people who'd been strangers sat together, bound by the simple truth that has sustained humanity through all its years. We need each other. And sometimes, when we're brave enough to offer help, and humble enough to accept it, we find more than we ever expected. Daniel caught Emma's eye and smiled. She smiled back, understanding passing between them without words. This was what it was all about. Not grand gestures or dramatic rescues, just showing up, being present, offering your hand to someone who needs it. Sometimes that changes everything.